Another skill. The speed limit is 70 miles an hour. We can, if we've got driving licenses, probably we're all used to driving at 70 miles an hour. Could we drive 10 times as fast at 700 miles an hour? This is not why I've got those chairs here. I'm not going to bring in a car and see how fast we can drive. I've even got a simulator. Again, I've got a graph. This is a graph of the land speed record as it's evolved over time. So we've got miles per hour on the vertical axis and time on the horizontal axis. And around 1900, when cars had just been invented, they were actually all electric then. They ran off batteries. Progress. Then people were driving up to 70 miles an hour because that's all their cars could do. And then the internal combustion and steam engines were developed, and you can see we get at the next circle a steady linear increase over 100 miles an hour in your steam-powered car. And the internal combustion engine, we don't get a plateau really, nothing much happens until after the 20s. And then huge improvements in the internal combustion engine were made, many refinements, and we get this nice linear increase again up to 400 miles an hour by just after the Second World War. And again, there's not much improvement. There was hiatus then, until the invention of turbojets and rocket-powered cars in the 1960s, and we get an immediate rise up to 600 miles an hour. People are driving these cars up to 600 miles an hour, and then again we reach the limits of the technology, and it stops, and then we get a turbofan, a new sort of turbojet car with a fan on the back. I don't quite know how it works, but it increases the speed over 700 miles an hour. So people can drive a car 10 times as fast as is legally permissible on the roads. And in fact, there is now in development. Oh, hang on. Okay, that tells you what the actual land speed record was, 763 miles an hour, over 1 mile. Faster than the speed of sound, so you get a sonic boom from this car. And they are developing a car that will go even faster. Picture of it. Got a bloodhound, which has good Devonian links, in fact, and has been to my kids' school. This will go apparently over 1,000 miles an hour. So maybe one of you could drive this car more than 10 times faster than the speed limit. How can they possibly do that? Of course, they don't do it on the A38. God. They do it on special, very flat salt plains without any cyclists, horses, tractors, pedestrians, zebra crossings, other hazards, other road users. So they're simplifying their task. But they still do need a driver. They can't just have a robot-controlled car, because there are still hazards. The thing needs to be controlled. This person really is driving this car. It has a steering wheel. It has instruments and controls. It needs a human operator. Maybe they could do it without, but it wouldn't count as a speed record. But this person is controlling this car very, very fast, and they do it by changing the strategies that they're using for the car. So, these three things I have shown you, you can improve your memory, you can improve your reading speed, and theoretically you can drive faster. But they're all to do with strategies, how you use your mental capacity. Not adding bits of your brain on, or using more bits of your brain, but just using the bits of your brain that you use every day in particular strategic ways. That's what's common to these things, and it's what underlay James's argument that we don't normally achieve to our full optimum. We can do so by changing the way that we apply ourselves.